The rich heir called to confess his feelings but accidentally dialed my number instead. I was furious. I'm not Xiaohu. You've got the wrong person. Unexpectedly, he didn't even bother to listen. Who you are doesn't matter. I just transferred you 100,000 yuan. Listen to me in full. Money means great, huh? Ding, Alipay received 100,000 yuan. Oh, right, I am Xiaohu. Keep talking, I'm listening. At 3 in the morning, on the other end of the line, the rich heir kept rambling from the first time he met Xiaohu to swinging with her at the foot of Snow Mountain. Oh, I stared at the 100,000 yuan in my account, trying hard to fight off sleepiness. He spoke slowly, his voice full of emotion, occasionally choking up. If I hadn't met Xiaohu, I probably wouldn't have survived. I'm a lonely person, you understand. My father never cared about me. I don't even know what grade I'm in. He has 3, maybe 4 mistresses, with children everywhere. Though he never brought them home, I know every single one. Maybe he feels guilty and tries to make up with money since I was a kid. Besides money and family assets, I've had nothing. I really envy poor kids to have someone who loves them, at least. So awkward. I nodded while listening. Are you still there? His voice suddenly fell silent. Ding! Another 100,000 yuan arrived in Alipay. The sound of money pouring woke me up completely. I hastily replied, yes, you're absolutely right. Silence on the other end for 2 seconds. You think I'm gay, don't you? He asked. You're not. Weren't you talking about Xiaohu? You really are that guy's double. Whatever. Anyway, my best friend got kicked out, and since then I've had no friends. Every day alone, my spirit almost collapsed. Understand? I can argue with a stray cat for 2 hours straight. I thought my life was over. But heaven brought Xiaohu to me. His voice softened. I've never met a girl as gentle as her. She doesn't think I'm weird, willing to sit with me and talk. She doesn't mock boys who cry. When I cry, she sits by my side to endure the wind the whole night. When my father brings women home, she throws little stones at the window. I put on a clown's face to make her laugh. Xiaohu is free-spirited, like the wind. Maybe because of that freedom, I couldn't keep her. Sometimes I think I truly understand her, other times I realize I know nothing about her. Even whether she likes me, I'm not sure. His voice sank, genuinely full of love for Xiaohu. I wanted to offer few comforting words, but sleepiness overwhelmed me. Eyelids shutting tight. Waking up, it was already 7:40 am, brushing my teeth. I pondered over last night's dream. It felt so real, until I held my phone and saw 300,000 yuan silently sitting in my account. Clearly, the rich heir transferred another 100,000 to wake me after I'd fallen asleep for real. I stared blankly at the phone. Half a day later, a scream erupted. He didn't note it as a voluntary gift. He won't want that money back, right? Boo-hoo! Arrived at school at 8:06 am. Sneaking to the back door, I peeked in, waiting for the professor to look away. I slipped quietly to the last row beside some classmates. They said, your eyes are heavily dark-circled today. Wanna chip in to buy stuff for 11:11? I agreed right away. Rich now, but can't miss out on some discounts. Minutes later, I stared blankly at the professor's mouth moving. My mind focused only on how to start talking to the rich heir. Remind him to note it's a voluntary gift, but will he still call me? So nervous. Suddenly, the back door creaked open. At first, I thought it was the wind, until, who's there? That whisper was so cool. I turned around to face a dazzlingly handsome, cold-faced guy, twin Cheche finance major, rumored to be from a wealthy family. Cold, solitary, and taciturn, but I knew every time he spoke, his words hit hard. Last year, I lost to him in a debate tournament, and was haunted by that ever since. Lin Tithy, hold my hand. Oh my, is Twin Cheche studying Russian too? He's been famous since freshman year for his striking looks. Everyone knew him. I smiled awkwardly. Must be really passionate about the language. Glancing at Twin Cheche. He wore a simple black shirt and gray pants that somehow looked terrifyingly cool. My knee ached. I bent my head, pretending to play with my phone. That tall shadow stopped right beside me. Move over a bit. His cold gaze with zero friendliness. Strangely familiar voice, but then I recalled our debate sparring. I didn't know him well. Weird. I scooted in, making room for him. Tuan Cheche sat in the farthest corner, with no one in front, behind, or beside him, like a meteorite that fell and left a giant crater where nothing would grow. Opening my phone, the chat group flooded with questions about the Russian class. Looking at the long, confusing slides, I immediately replied, "Awesome. Russian is awesome. As easy as mother tongue, you learn it in a snap. Everyone should learn Russian." Waiting until 11 p.m., no call from the rich heir, but more money had arrived. I dialed him immediately. Silence for 2 seconds on the other side. How should I note it? Am I really like this? He never said his name. Then how should I note it? Whatever, leave it. Sounds good anyway. He smiled softly, asking, "How are you today, Xiaohu?" "Good, very good, wonderful." I began pondering about the note. He muttered to himself, "I'm not feeling so good today." He sighed, "My father had a car accident." "But I don't feel sad at all." "Tell me, isn't that bad?" "Well, it's okay. He has so many wives and kids, I do feel bad for him. Losing me isn't such a big deal." "You said it right." He took a deep breath, smiled relieved. "Well, he has so many women, someone surely takes care of him." Sounds like he was drinking beer. His voice sounded tipsy. The clinking of cans on the floor was clear. "I told you about my mother. She was beautiful. If not for my father, she would definitely have been a star." "Well, then you must be handsome." "Of course, my mother's jealousy is next level." The rich heir rambled on. I listened silently, occasionally answering. At moments, I felt we really were friends. "Thanks, Xiaohu. Besides you, no one wants to hear me talk like this." "Who?" "If you're happy, so am I." He laughed. "Tell me your story, Xiaohu." "My story? But it loses its mystery once I tell it. Not like Xiaohu anymore." He smiled softly. "You weren't really Xiaohu anyway." "What a weirdo, calling me Xiaohu." "But saying I'm not really Xiaohu." After thinking, I chose the most impressive story in my poor life. Back in high school, I rose from a failing student to top of the class. That's my proudest achievement. Memory surged, my heart flared. I told him with tears almost forming. "Finally, I got into my dream university." "What about you? How much did you score on your college entrance exam?" Silence, endless silence. Oh wow, he must have fallen asleep. The next day, I still walked to school with dark circles under my eyes. Lintithi gave me a puzzled look. "Yeah, did you stay up late practicing to surpass us?" I secretly squeezed my phone with 500,000 yuan in it. "This can't get out, just play games." I replied vaguely, "Stop playing games. The debate contest is near, you have to adjust your mindset." "Okay." My mood suddenly sank. Thinking about the debate pressure weighed heavily. Last year I reached the finals, had a chance to win. But I encountered the finance team, the strong, notorious team. Plus recruiting Duen Chechu, a superb rookie, even harder to deal with. They say the preliminary round draws are by lot. Hope we don't get the finance team. Faithy clasped her hands. Praying, please don't let me face Don Chechu again. I sighed, feeling overwhelmed, snatching out my phone to check the balance for some relief. After morning classes, Faithy and I ate together. Seeing the rice omelette stand was empty. We dashed over, quick, quick, the training team's about to get there. I ran headlong, but someone suddenly carried out a tray of food to the left. Too late to stop, I crashed right into him. Rice spilled everywhere. Sorry, I apologized hurriedly. Looking up to see Wen Chechu's gloomy face. "Oh no, why him? Sorry." I pulled out a tissue but realized the rice only stuck to me. It was spotless. "How did the rice spill like this? You let me pay you back." "Oh, I'm lucky not to stain him." "I'm sorry, let me compensate." I clasped my hands apologetically and hissed, "No need." When Cheche strode past the rice on the floor, expressionless, quietly returning to the end of the line, I had to bend down and clean up the mess. When it was his turn, I quickly swiped my card first. "Really sorry." I smiled awkwardly. He silently watched. More than a second passed, no word. Then he took his food and left. They already had 2 orders and found a seat. After cleaning the floor, I ran to sit and eat. "Your shirt's dirty." "It's okay. I'll change at the dorm." I looked back at Duen Cheche sitting near us, all alone like a meteor crater. So handsome. They sighed, but now that I look at him, I swear he reminds me of the king of hell. Pray we don't meet him in the prelims. I smiled bitterly. Last year's battle haunts me still. Far away, 2 blushing girls ran to Duen Chechu. Not knowing what to say, he casually flicked them off, then bowed his head to keep eating as if nothing happened. The 2 girls stood awkwardly, then left with heads down. Really rude. Alake received another 100,000. I won him. The rich heir called again. Still had to stay up chatting with him at this hour. This money is definitely mine. I suddenly answered. He was silent for 1 second. You're still awake? So he knows I should be asleep now? No, I was waiting for your call. He chuckled softly. Really? At first, I didn't want to call but couldn't sleep. Didn't know what to do. What's up? Got something on your mind? Not exactly. He was drinking again. He sighed, his voice husky. Today that call said he missed me. Funny, huh? He only remembers me after being bedridden, or maybe he just wants me to come take care of him. You're right, his women all want him to die early and leave the fortune. Honestly, he doesn't even know. I also wish he'd die. His voice lowered. Wish my biological father would die. Tell me, am I a bastard? I paused. His pain seemed to pass through the phone, drowning me. No, he hurt your mother, so he deserves it. You're not bad. If you didn't care, you'd be asleep by now, not tossing and turning. The rich hair smiled softly. Noise echoed through the phone. Someone seemed to be arguing. I was silent a moment, then asked, You're drunk. Where are you? In Haikong. Want me to pick you up? I'm in Haikong, but please don't come. Why? I'm afraid you're ugly. You're quite the smooth talker. Bye. I hung up in a huff and hid under the blanket. For the first time, I worried so much about someone else. Infuriating. Soon after, he called back. Chao, still mad? No, sorry. I'm just clumsy with words. Don't mind me. I didn't reply. Alibi got another 100,000. The first time I received money without feeling happy. What are you doing? I didn't ask for money. I know, the rich hair mumbled. I don't know how to apologize. Since childhood I have no mother, no friends, no care from dad. Nobody taught me these things. Alright, I'm not mad anymore. I've reached my limit. He laughed. Really, Xiaohu, you look however you want. Even if you're a dinosaur, it's fine. Don't compare girls to dinosaurs. That's rude. Okay, got it. Don't compare girls to dinosaurs. It's rude. He sounded serious. Suddenly, I found him cute. Then the rich hair asked gently, Tell me how your day was, Xiaohu. I thought a moment. Actually, nothing special, just normal. What's normal? I'm hungover. Remember today's bad luck. Came late to class. Bumped into someone before eating. Had to pay for their food. So clumsy. How was that person? Did they scold you? No, he didn't scold, but even without scolding, he was scary enough. Why? You don't know I lost to him last year. Seeing him again is like facing the king of hell. Too scary. This year's debate is starting soon. Hope we don't meet him. The rich hair was silent a while. Do you debate too? Yeah, this is my second year. Almost won last year, but ran into them. Oh, what's his name? Tuan Chechu. Phone fell silent. I felt weird. Why so quiet? Do you know him? He quickly laughed. Yes, no, I just saw Stray Cat for a moment. Oh, I thought maybe you knew him. He's been giving me headaches. Definitely very good. Yeah, very good. Scary too. The draw is tomorrow. Hope we don't get him. He was quiet again, then said, Well, hope you don't draw him tomorrow. He sighed softly. Alright, Xiaohu, that's it for today. Sleep well. He was about to hang up. Strange. Not even half an hour in, but this wasn't the important part. I caught him back quickly. Rich hair. Yeah, what's up? So when you transferred the money, you didn't know it was a voluntary gift. Can you add that? He was silent for 2 seconds. Seemed amused at me. Why would you think I'd ask for my money back because I have nowhere else to spend it? No, not like that. Actually, that's true. Dean, Alipay received 500,000 yuan. No voluntary gift. Spend freely. Staring slowly at the numbers on the screen, my brain froze. How much? I'm a bit tired today. Sleep well, Xiaohu. He hung up quickly. I didn't notice any oddness in his voice, only the sum in the account made me dizzy. After a long while, I reacted. Rich air, you are my god. I jumped up, holding it in for so long. Finally, I opened my eyes wide. Crazy shopping spree. A handful dress over 1,000 yuan that I used to regret. A bag costing 800. A windbreaker for 900. A skirt for 400. Skincare essence for 1,400. Foundation 980. Just those totaled 7,900. In one night, I got more than 20 orders waiting to be delivered. Looking back at the account, I hadn't even spent 1% of the money. No matter how I spend, it won't run out. So happy. Since when have I lived like this so comfortably? The strong girl burst into tears. The next day was Friday, during lunch break. We completed the team draw, luckily, not against finance. Our preliminary opponent was the science department, as strong as us. Still, avoiding finance was a big reason to celebrate. After morning classes, our whole department went out to celebrate. I drank a little. At night, waking up was suddenly 3 a.m. I jumped out of bed, hurriedly grabbed my phone, scared that I missed a call from the rich hair. But no missed calls. Rich hair didn't call me today. My head hurt slightly. Fell back on the bed, kept the phone to my ear, waited, no sound. I felt disappointed, then thought maybe he was busy. He didn't say he'd call every night. It's normal if he doesn't call one day, right? Please, peace. Time passed quickly. For 2 days straight, the rich air didn't call. In class, I was distracted. Yuki pinched me. What's wrong? Why so thoughtful? I shook my head, rested my head on the desk. Out of habit, I checked my phone. Is the rich hair not calling me anymore? Has he found the real Jiaohu? Guess my few days as Jiaohu's double are over, and emptiness filled me. Then quickly, happiness replaced it for him. Hope the rich hair's confession worked, and he's starting a sweet romance with 2 p.m. The debate prelim was about to start. First match finance versus science. Both strong teams. Our leader took us to watch to learn. Opening the door, I bumped right into Duan Chachu. He wore thin-rimmed glasses rarely used, giving a slightly bookish but dangerous aura. Spotting us, he paused a bit. My heart trembled, both scared and surprised. Later smiled. Hey, Duan Chachu, you're here? He pointed at me. This is Zhao Zhong from our team, Zhang Jinyu. You competed against her last year, remember? Duan Chachu glanced at me quickly, then looked down. Light reflecting on his glasses masked his expression. No impression. Sorry. Though apologetic, somehow this sounded overly arrogant. Losing points. Leader awkwardly smiled Mei Kuei. All right, you go first. Duan Chachu stepped aside into the hall. Xiao Zhong, come here. The leader called me, leading me to sit mid-hall. Peeking over, I saw Duan Chachu already seated. He murmured, he's always like that. No wonder he has no friends. I smiled faintly, uninterested. It's okay. I don't need him to remember me anyway. Minutes later, the match began. Both teams were strong, instantly tense to the point of suffocation. Though Duan Chachu usually talked little, stepping on stage his words were as sharp as knives. Each sentence blocked his opponent's way, leaving no opening for counterattack, especially that cold gaze. Looking at anyone, pressure was overwhelming. He was dominant, sometimes merciless. As tension spread from stage to audience, I sat in the back, barely daring to breathe. Breathing was difficult. The longer I sat, the heavier the pressure. How to defeat such an opponent? How to defeat him? After 90 minutes, the match ended. No surprise, finance won. An excellent performance. Everyone applauded but worried for themselves. I'd squirmed in my seat long ago and rushed outside immediately post-match. No evening classes. I returned to the dorm early, lying on bed watching international debating videos and taking notes. At 10 p.m., a grad student on my floor came back. I still hadn't eaten. I put down my pen, heard voices outside my door. Suddenly felt a deep emptiness. Living alone out here is lonely. Freshman year, couldn't stand my strange roommate who didn't bathe and shouted at night. So I moved out to live alone. But because of that, I missed the chance to fit in with friend groups. Though acquainted with many, no one was really close. No one to confide in. However heavy the pressure, I had to bear it alone. I sighed. Turned off my computer, fell limp like a dead fish. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. I let it receive 100,000. I couldn't believe my ears. Sat up quickly, staring at the phone, until a familiar number called. The rich air. I was thrilled and answered. So long since I'd felt this happy. The rich air's voice sounded solemn, with a sadness unlike his usual teasing. Jiaohu, how was today? Good, very good, extremely good. After speaking, my nose burned. So funny. He was the only one asking how my day was. He was silent a moment, then asked, Are you crying? No, at first I wasn't, but as you asked, tears came. Jiaohu opened the window. Go on. Why? I asked while getting down and opening the window. Look, the rain is so heavy today. That's it. I laughed, thinking how childish he was, but my mood improved greatly. Can you tell me about it? No, it's sad again. No, it's not sad, I sighed. Just too much pressure. Because of him. Why? Half of it's because of him, half because of myself. I take half the blame for last year's loss. Though no one on the team says anything, I always blame myself. Losing a debate isn't any one person's fault, I know. Still, I can't forgive myself. When he questions me, my mind goes blank. Rich air paused. You're afraid of him, right? Yes. He's got strong reasoning skills. Many people do, but you're not afraid of all of them, right? Right? Then you're afraid of him. Not his skills. I will face that. Though you don't want to admit it, that's the truth. Even off the stage, when I meet Duen Chechu, I unconsciously avoid him. Just eye contact makes my heart race. Simply put, it's a fear of handsome guys, right? I sighed. What scares you about him? He's arrogant, unfriendly, arrogant. His voice sounded surprised. Quickly, he lowered his voice bluntly. Why think that? He never really looked anyone straight in the eye, but he gives off a high and mighty vibe. The rich hair took a soft breath, slowly said, Xiao, sometimes fear comes from the unknown. You don't really know him, right? So what you label him with might not be accurate. What do you mean? I mean, maybe try to get closer to him. You may find he's not as scary as you think. I don't dare. If you don't overcome your fear, you can't win this debate. I jumped up immediately. You're right. Maybe my fear comes from imagination. Maybe he's silly like you. I'll try. Okay. His voice was a bit happier just then. My stomach growled. Haven't eaten. I was shy. Yeah, let's eat something. Wait, it's late. Order takeout. Call it dieting. Lane, Alipay received 100,000 yuan. I froze. Hey, what are you doing? 100,000 yuan for a meal? He chuckled softly. I know it's for many meals, so you don't starve later. The next day at class, Lan Feithi looked surprised. Wow, Nugget, why do you look so radiant? In love? I hugged my phone, giggled, shook my head. Strange, few days ago I was drained, but now sleeping well and in good spirits. I replied superficially, rested my head, smiled secretly. The rich air really is too kind. After laughing a while, I suddenly felt uneasy. He's kind to Xiao. Not me. My gaze darkened. Dazed for a while. Enough. Don't overthink. Looked at my balance to feel less sad. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 million. Much better. That afternoon, another Russian class. 3 minutes to go. Tuan Chachi just entered the back door. I glimpsed at him. Suddenly remembered the rich hair's words. Try to get close to him. Maybe he's not as scary as you think. Maybe take a break. I took a deep breath, looked at him. So handsome, so cool. Never mind. I quickly turned back, pretending nothing happened, spinning my pen. But he walked straight over to me. Hello, could you move a bit? So polite, even a bit refined. I was stunned, looked up. Is this what cold and proud Tuan Chachu would say? Frozen for a moment, I immediately replied, sure. I lowered my head, didn't dare meet his eyes. Thank you. The corner of his mouth curled slightly, then squeezed into the seat beside me. A faint cedarwood scent wafted out. My head tangled. What's going on saying next to me again? I sat stiff, didn't dare move. Only heard him pull out his phone and begin typing quickly. A minute later, Lam Fei, unaware of where I'd gone, was late for class. Back in hand, she rushed over. Seeing Duen Chachu beside me, she froze. Where's my seat? Nidit. I looked surprised at Duen Chachu next to me. I still had 2 empty seats, but he sat right next to me. He noticed our eyes, looked up at Fei. You want to come in? He asked calmly, standing up, no intention of moving inside. Oh, thanks. Fei shyly slid in without a word, turned to mouth the question, what's going on? I don't know either. I turned back silent. After a while, I began to hate myself for having no future. Secretly glanced at Duen Chechu. He was focused on his screen, unaware I was spying. Sharp features, smooth pale skin, but a faint pink pimple on his chin. He gets at me too. I stared at that pimple, realized Duen Chechu was just a normal person. He needed to eat, go to the bathroom, have feelings. Staying up late caused pimples, not as perfect as I imagined. He caught my gaze. What's up? He asked. I was startled, came back to reality, scratched my head awkwardly. Nothing. What are you looking at? He paused, then turned the screen toward me. Russian study material. Want to see? No need. I quickly waved it off. Okay. He looked back at his screen, suddenly stopped. Question, are you Jung Jun-yu? Yes, actually, I remember you from last year's match. You're very good. I was stunned he really remembered me. More surprised he took the initiative to start talking. Completely different from the cold, distant impression in my memory. Maybe as the Richer said, I misunderstood Wen Chechu too much. You're good too, I replied. At night, I lay in bed writing a report. Occasionally glanced at my phone, until the familiar sound rang. LIB notification, a familiar number appeared. The Richer, Xiaohu, how was today? Good, very good, extremely good. Sounds happy. Anything fun? Not really. Oh, I listened to you and proactively talked to Duan Chechu. The Richer paused. Really? How was it? I feel like I'm not afraid of him anymore. Why? I didn't know much about him before. Thought he was perfect, untouchable. But today when I talked to him, suddenly, he's just a normal person. The rich air smiled. Right, everyone's just normal. So are you confident for the debate now? Not yet. I'm fired up already. Genuinely said, thanks. His voice gentled. No need to thank me, Xiaohu. If you're happy, I'm happy too. My heart suddenly warmed. The rich air is really kind. But quickly, the smile faded slowly. Xiaohu's happy, he's happy too, but I'm not Xiaohu. Why silent now? He asked. I shook my head quickly, pushing that thought away. Oh, just saw a cat. What kind of cat? Black. Hey, rich hair talks about me too much lately. Come on, you're the one paying. It's fine. I like hearing you talk. Stop. I accept your money but turn you into my emotional pillow. Dang, Alipay received another 100,000 yuan. Xiaohu got another 100,000 yuan. I like hearing a lot. Maybe I kinda like the rich air now. I'm not sure if it's his money or him who's making me fall. He must be money. How could I like him? I don't even know his looks. Yet every night, the rich air called. Our topics widened day by day. He no longer just talked about Xiaofu and his father, but shared experiences skiing on the S range, interesting stories from walking across Europe. He also shared favorite movies and songs. I knew almost every detail about his life before, even though I didn't know his real name or face. One night, talking about the swing at the foot of Snow Mountain, I suddenly recalled what he said in the first call. On impulse, I asked, is the rich air the same one who played on the swing with Zhao? He was talking animatedly, paused a moment at my question. Ah, yes, that's the one. I was empty inside, unsure what I felt. Is Xiaohu beautiful? He looked surprised. Why suddenly ask that? Just curious. Is she beautiful? Yes, of course. How beautiful? Can't describe it. So beautiful it's indescribable. Right, a girl who haunts a rich air forever must be special. I looked into my vanity mirror. Reflective face looked plain. I thought I was decent, but suddenly felt a bit plain. Our semi-final was against the Met department. Almost everyone came to watch. Met was very strong, the match intense. Finally, we won narrowly by a slim margin. The hall erupted in applause. Only after it ended did I notice Wen Chechu quietly clapping in the back row. He really stood out, but all match had concentrated on my part, not noticing when he arrived. Looks like I'd completely treated him like a normal person. After stepping off the stage, Lam Fei saw Duan Chechu. Oh, didn't expect he'd come watch. I smiled gently. What's surprising? Anyone can come. So what if he came? Yeah, that's true. You know, the first speaker for Med was Indian, former beauty who used to pursue Duan Chechu. Oh, I got excited, flaming romantic flames rising. And did you succeed? Of course not. They lowered her voice mysteriously. You know why? Why, Duan Chechu likes boys. What nonsense are you saying? She glared at me. Just rumors, but Duan Chechu had a late girlfriend who died. You know, like White Moonlight, Cinnabar Mole, an untouchable girl he never forgets. When Indian chased him, she said it straight up, but she still said it was okay, even claimed she'd win him over. One time she felt the moment was ripe. Grabbed his hand, but he immediately pushed her away and scolded her hard. You know how sharp his tongue is. Indian couldn't take it, so she gave up. Wow, never expected that. Surprised? Duan Chechu's face looks like a player in romance. Yeah, he's a sentimental lover. Could guess. I glanced at Duan Chechu's face. He looks like a heartbreaker, but turns out he's hopelessly in love. From afar, Duan Chechu murmured, The perfect cold rich air has his own wounds from love. Seeing sense in my gaze, Trench had to suddenly look back. I was a bit startled but smiled naturally, then left with Len Thay. After the semi-final, the teacher took the whole team to celebrate. We went for barbecue. We drank until 11 p.m. I was very happy, drank quite a lot. At home, my head was dizzy. The rich air caught as usual. Chaho, how was today? Great, rich air, we made the finals. On the other end, applause flooded. I knew it. Xiaohu is the best in the world. Ding, I let her receive money again. I lost count. Praising felt good. Maybe from the alcohol or some other reason. I happily enjoyed it a moment, then felt unhappy again. Because I'm not Xiaohu. The one he praised was Xiaohu, not Zhang Yu. Cold wind blew against my face, and I sobered up. Only then realized I was jealous. Jealous of Xiaohu? Oh heavens, I'm just a money-receiving replacement. What right do I have to feel jealous? I found myself ridiculous, but still a bit uncomfortable. The rich air continued talking. I couldn't hear clearly, my mind hazy. After a while he noticed something. Xiaohu, are you sleepy? For the first time, I wanted to end the call. Yeah, sleepy now. Okay then. That's all for today. He seemed reluctant to hang up. I'll call again tomorrow. Sleep well, bye-bye. All morning, I felt restless. Lamp Faithy reminded me. Niggy, I'm coming over. Playing games again? You look terrible. I shook my head. Silent. Really? Stop playing. The finals are soon against finance. How can you win like this? They got angry. Sorry. I'll get my spirit right. I forced a smile, blaming myself. Really couldn't let my mind wander anymore. At night, the rich air called early. I intended to tell him not to contact me anymore. I needed to focus on preparing for the match. But as soon as I answered, his voice sounded hoarse and strange. Jiahu, how are you today? He sounded weak. You okay? Fever, headache, sore throat, feeling bad. I was startled. Heart tightened. Huh? Did you see a doctor? Take a medicine? Yes, but still hurt. But your voice sounds better. He smiled softly, nasal. Sounds like a sick little cat. That's good. I sat back on the bed, looked at the moon outside. The words I wanted to say swallowed back. Maybe later. The next few days, I just needed to sleep earlier. You need to rest. You're lying down now, right? Yeah, lying. Anyone by your side? No, I have no friends. Right, you said that before besides money. You have nothing. You should make friends. Rich air. I gently coaxed him like a little cat. I don't know how to make friends, teach me. His voice sounded a bit blurred but very obedient. Gentle, so gentle. I felt I could see clear eyes through his words. I didn't answer. He kept talking. You get up, I'm leaving. Chahu, his voice soft as a lover's whisper. I held back my racing heart. Thump, 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 about to jump out. Chahu, no reply. He pretended to be angry. Jahu, you're mean. Why no answer? No, just got my food. My voice trembled slightly. Heart scrambled, incapable of calming. I'd crossed the line. I truly liked the rich air. Lost. For 3 days while he was sick, I kept answering. Alibay occasionally notified more money, but I seemed immune to money now. The growing numbers no longer made me happy. All I could think was, I'm not Xiaohu for real. What am I? A substitute. The one he interested feelings meant for Xiaohu. But being Xiaohu's substitute isn't fun. I envy her. More and more. I don't want this binding anymore. Don't want to become a hateful person. So I decided to end everything before falling too deep. On day 4, the richer recovered. I patiently chatted with him until 1 a.m. About to finish, I said, Rich hair, please don't call me anymore. He was silent a moment. Huh? What do you mean? My nose dumb. I quickly restrained myself. Trying to sound gentle. I have a boyfriend now. I can't keep taking your calls. I'm afraid he'll misunderstand. Boyfriend. His voice filled with surprise. You? With who? Don't joke. Not joking. I'm really in love. Very good guy. I fabricated a non-existent boyfriend. My fingers clenched white. You must be lying. You talk to me every day. Where do you find time for love? What's his name? What does he look like? Why do you like him? On the other end, his voice trembled. Sorry, rich air, I'm not lying. Thank you for taking care of me so far. Anyway, I'm not Xiaohu. You should find another Xiaohu, or I can introduce you to one. Don't do that, he panted, pacing chaotically. His steps erratic. Actually, I don't mind, even if you have a boyfriend. It's okay, but I'm afraid he'll be shy. Things won't go on. If it continues, I'll lose my resolve. Goodbye, Xiaohu. He panicked, calling my name. I ground my teeth and hung up, then blocked his number and switched off my phone. Lying down, I realized half my pillow was wet. Nothing sad about it. We were never lovers anyway. Sooner or later it had to end. It's okay. It's all okay. I quickly opened my e-wallet to cheer myself, but no matter what, it didn't feel better. An hour later, I got up quietly, washed my face. Let's pretend it never happened. No rich hair, no money, no late night calls. Now only the upcoming match. 9 a.m. the next day, finals. I readjusted my mood, wore a vest, light makeup, walked into the hall. Yeah, nervous? They asked, worried. I smiled softly. Just a bit as normal. It's okay. I prepared well, we'll be fine. 3 minutes to start. But one judge still hadn't arrived. Usually contestants come 10 minutes early. They excited. Doesn't he come at all? I was silent. No replacements allowed in finals. We must wait for him. The opposing team looked anxious, kept calling. I found it odd. Isn't he the type who's always late? Today. He was nowhere to be seen. A few minutes later, with his absence, organizers debated changing the rules to allow substitutions. Suddenly, the main door opened. Tuan Chechu entered without apology. He said coldly, I'm here. No glasses today. His eyes bloodshot and watery, looking exhausted. Rear sighed. I'd never seen him like this. Opponents sighed in relief. Though unhappy with his tardiness, no one dared say anything. Even helped him carry his bag. He walked to the competitor's table. His eyes coldly skimmed me, even colder than usual. Instinctively, I lowered my head and avoided his gaze. Heart pounding. Tuan Chechu scared me again. Before, he seemed polite and gentle. Why so different on stage? I bent my head, crumpled the paper on the table. Dared not look at him any longer. The mic, frustrated by his delay, said, Contestants, take your seats. Everyone's waited a long time. Surprisingly, this provoked Tuan Chechu. I'm not late, am I? He checked his watch, voice icy. It's exactly 9 o'clock my time. Broken or your watch is running fast. Mick was speechless. Someone whispered, irritated. Rich air, untouchable Tuan Chechu. He glanced coldly. You better speak up. Don't be like a mouse crawling into a corner, afraid to look anyone in the eye. Hey, what's with that tone? Exactly. You're late, disrespecting others, and now you're acting high and mighty? Tuan Chechu sneered. I don't need to respect those defeated by me. Tuan Chechu, what do you mean? Fei was angry, wanting to attack. I stopped her just in time. Your intelligence is too low to understand metaphors? Is he crazy? Though arrogant before, Tuan Chechu never insulted others directly. Even I couldn't tolerate it. Can't you talk properly? No. He looked at me. His eyes red. I trembled. Didn't understand where his anger came from, until his voice softened. A stubborn, forced smile full of self-mockery. All right then, I'm leaving, Xiaohu. The air froze. I looked at Tuan Chechu. My mind went blank as if something shattered instantly. He is the rich heir. Turns out Tuan Chechu is the rich heir. Everything made sense. Those days, the voice on the other end was always Tuan Chechu, and the role of Xiaohu I was playing was his late ex-girlfriend. The one he still regrets and cannot forget. They gently pulled my hand. It's okay, it's okay. I sat down, she calmed down. Stop arguing, start the match. I refused to look at Tuan Chechu. I wasn't ready to face this truth. I needed time. The match began. Everything proceeded as usual. No issues. I prepared well and handled it smoothly. But Tuan Chechu didn't. He seemed half asleep, totally unfocused. Spoke illogically, off topic. Everyone was shocked. Undefeated Tuan Chechu became like this. After an hour and a half the match ended. Finesse lost badly. The whole stunned. Finesse always champions. But this time they lost miserably. I won but felt no joy. It felt like all my hard work had ultimately fallen at my feet meaninglessly. I was first to leave as results were announced. Grabbed my bag and hurried outside. Tuan Chechu quickly followed. Xiaohu. I stopped, took a deep breath, then looked at him. Sorry, I'm judging you. He stood before me, eyes red. Powerless. Yeah, I turned, intending to leave, but he grabbed my wrist. People started watching but dared not approach. You said you have a boyfriend. Were you lying? What does that have to do with you? On the contrary, you knew who I was. Right? Why pretend not to? Happy to see me? No, you. At first, I didn't know it was you. Later, when I found out, and I realized you didn't like me, so I didn't dare to say anything. I recall I badmouthed when Chachu many times in the calls. No wonder he minded. I turned away, heart in turmoil. Though justified, I couldn't accept it. I was just a shadow of another girl, and that girl was white moonlight irreplaceable in his heart. Can you tell me what I did wrong? I was silent long, then shook my head and pulled away. You did nothing wrong. I'm just tired. Don't want to continue. Sorry. I turned and left, leaving him alone. He won't understand. I didn't want to admit I was jealous of his white moonlight. I could only leave, using that reason to keep some dignity. That evening was our victory party. Lan Fei was late. When she came and had several drinks, you drank that much today. Everyone seemed surprised. I just smiled happily. By the way, when did you get close to Duan Chachu? Keeping it secret, none of us knew. Me? Close to him? No way. Maybe you used a beauty scheme to win? Nice try. Everyone laughed cheerfully. Lan Fei put down her bag and said, when I got here, heard Duan Chachu got into a fight and was taken to the school hospital. Tan froze. Someone asked, why fight? He performed badly today. People from finance mocked. He's hot-tempered, so they beat him up. You. Lam Fei wasn't done, but I ran out. At the school hospital, Duan Chachu was bandaged. His opponent was there too, both bruised but seemingly reconciled. Silently sitting together, no words, Duan Chachu had some scratches. His arm was wrapped like a mummy. He sat head down, long lashes covering eyes, lonely and strange. I stood a long time, breathed deeply to compose, then quietly caught the rich air. His body twitched. He looked up, startled. Yeah, seeing his wounds, I felt heartache. No reason for the fight? This time really wasn't me. His voice grew lower. The other person said, apparently aggrieved, I started it. This is all my fault. I said nothing, stepped forward. Quietly stood close, watched doctors bandage him. Does it hurt? No. Your arm's bandaged tight and it doesn't hurt. Duan Chachu looked up. You came to see me. I don't hurt anymore. The other guy looked embarrassed, finally left decisively. Doctors finished and left too. I checked the drip. The room quiet. Only our breaths. After a while he asked, didn't you say you were tired? Didn't want to continue? Why come visit me? I looked at him, sighed, sat down beside him. My voice low, as if talking to myself. No, I just don't want to be a replacement anymore. Replacement? His eyes full of doubt. He eyed me suspiciously. I know everything. I smiled softly. They say you had a late ex-girlfriend you never forgot. You keep yourself for her. That girl is Xiaohu, right? Duan Chachu stared at me long, then seemed to understand. Eyes wide open, eager, jealous of her. Though embarrassed, it was true. I looked away, unwilling to face him. You can think that way. He suddenly held my hand. Okay, I'll take you to meet Xiaohu. Duan Chachu said he'd take me to meet Xiaohu. I prepared myself for anything, but he handed me a medical diagnosis, pages of writing, concluding delusional disorder. Like lightning striking my head, recalling all he had said, everything finally had an explanation. I was stunned, looked up at him. He looked calm, voice gentle. At first, I didn't realize I had problems, until one day my father discovered Xiaohu existed. He forced me to see a doctor, forced me on meds. After much medicine and therapy, Xiaohu disappeared. That time I realized Xiaohu never had a face in my memories. For 3 years, I never saw her again. But one night in September, I suddenly dreamed of her. In the dream, she gave me a phone number. I tried to remember. Waking up, I found only 10 digits. So I tried calling each number. Everyone called me crazy. Only you, even if Matt never hung up. At that moment, I thought maybe I found Xiaohu. I quietly listened. Tears fell without notice. All the torment, bitterness from days gone vanished like smoke. Turns out what I envied was his illness, his loneliness. I thought his claims of loneliness were idle words of a bored rich kid. Now I knew he'd endured pain I couldn't imagine. I choked, asking, so has your condition cleared? He looked down at me, as red, cleared, because now I have you. I have you, so I'm cured. Believe me. End of story.